In shadows we lurk, in shadows we play. This is Night Shift.
Hello, yes, so welcome to another Night Shift Goth TV. Excitingly this time featuring the cable from my XLR cable, or something. It's a thrilling new addition to actually have the cable on display. Anyway, yes, this time, as opposed to doing an interview, I'm going to take you through some of the acts that are performing. This time I'm going to just solely focus on this Saturday of the festival. We will open the show with Passion Play. Long-time Doncaster people. They opened actually at the first, I'm not sure if they were the opening act, but anyway, they were on the bill for the first ever Doncaster night shift thing way back in 2016. That, I think, was on the 19th of April. I'm not sure exactly. It was around 19th, 20th, 21st, sometime around then. So we are almost exactly at 10 years since I started doing night shift events. Let's get them on. It's Tony Nicholson, who is involved with the Green Party in the local area, does a lot of good stuff as well. Now helping out as vocalist of John Merritt's Remains as well. But yes, he's been around in the Doncaster scene for some considerable time with some excellent music, and had quite a bit of variety over the years, and has also been in UV pop. So anyway, yes, let's get on and play a bit of Passion Play from Yore, I think. So just to give you an idea of their past history, and then I think we'll have something a little bit newer after that. Alright, here we go, Passion Play.
He turns away onto his side. Guess I should have told her how much she's changed. Not much remains of the girl he fell in love with. It took him about half the story, and it's so sad, but too bad. Never gained a feeling, and so it was a man and so a lover. But it's all I got to keep her undercover. This pretty thing off the lawn, he pulled her from the gutter, he dressed her up, she's so well formed, by one thing and another, and as he gave, he wanted more, but never knew anything about the secret camera in a drawer, and so it was she found herself a pension, and he paid up for his indiscretion. Take the place beside the man. bitter at the bar. Drink for them. They're running on the train that's near the gate of the station, well open to the rain. And gaze into the sky, his thoughts of butterfly just floats away.
So there we go, that was indeed Passion Play. So what we've got coming up next, we have, Scarlet Early, which is quite an unusual name. I'm not entirely sure where that comes from exactly, but yes, a really quite fabulous, stylish artist from London with a really great sound. I met them at a gig that I did in London on Solstice last year, and we got on very well. Appreciated the ideas of presenting differently and the ideas of performance, and was told by them that they do actually get involved in doing music themselves. So I thought, well, okay, let's have a look. Oh, it's so good, and the thing is, it's so good, and it's got that really, it's kind of got a fair bit of electro in there, but that kind of somewhat harshness, and it's really solid goth sound, I think, and so fantastically presented. I'm sure it's going to be really exciting live on stage. So they're coming along all the way from London to play for us, so let's have a bit of them. I'm not sure we've got much in the way of sort of moving stuff, but we'll see what we can do. They said at the time they were working on doing a music video, so hopefully that'll be out soon. Scarlet Early coming along now.
Picture perfect angel, mouth covered in white, lady. In the cathedral, stained glass eye, brace. Open a portal in my chest, pouring cosmic rays. Ruby rings fall through holes in my chest, secrets unlocked, passion possessed. Through holes in my chest, tesseracts murmuring, tesseracts blessed. Scarlet bag, hunter, you track, witness a hunger. A torn flight map across the Red Sea, across a burning Galilee. I'll hold my chains and you keep the key. A kiss through the mist, I can't miss this. Kiss through the mist, I'll fall with you faceless. Ruby rings fall through holes in my chest, secrets unlocked, passion possessed. Ruby rings fall through holes in my chest, tesseracts murmuring, tesseracts blessed. If I take your hand, beneath the blade of life. I need a mystic witch with magic in their eyes to spin the potions, to dance and velvet through commotion under the full moon sky. Make me forget why. But what's familiar? Something in her stare, what's her familiar? Not a crow, not a hare, something in her stare settles on her chambers, settles on her chambers. It's a hell to have no home, no treasures, no throne, no roof shot down, deep underground. My dormant Thalia, you sleep inside the earth, your petals furled, an unsung aria, watered well with wine and moonshine, your flowers bloom. We'll stow away to somewhere we can stay. A fortress, a castle, a dive bar, some place eternal, nocturnal, the light shines blue. But what's familiar? Something in her stare, what's her familiar? Not a crow, not a hare, something in her stare settles on her chambers, settles on her chambers. But what's familiar? Something in her stare, what's her familiar? Not a crow, not a hare, something in her stare settles on her chambers, settles on her chambers.
There you go, Scarletearly from London. Also works for Asbo magazine, writing about music and so forth. I did an interview with them. They interviewed me a little while ago, and yet to come out, but I'm sure it'll be out soon, as far as I know. Anyway, yes. So yeah, that's Scarletearly. We've also got coming over from Manchester, Dierotica, who I encountered a couple of years ago, first of all, and I can't remember exactly where I discovered them. Might have been from a Facebook post or something. And I thought, oh yeah, this has got really, really classic sort of X-Mal, and it's a real proper goth sort of sound, but also with a kind of almost shoegazy element at times. So you can almost imagine a bit of My Bloody Valentine with them. But I went out to see them in Manchester. It was so good. Then had them along for a gig in Manchester, and again, very, very good stuff. They've now adjusted slightly. They had electronic drums or drums on a backing track when I saw them and had them play for me, but now apparently have a live drummer, so that sounds really, really exciting. I just think it's absolutely superb, proper goth sound, so we'll get on and have a little bit of them. So There you go, that's Dierotica. Absolutely wonderful. And moving on, we shall have now Sister Jane and Brother John. If you've been a regular watcher of my video productions, you will know that Sister Jane and Brother John are an act I love deeply. And they're also post-smog botherers, so I like them even more. Also saw Sister Jane doing some poetry readings this last weekend, which were absolutely brilliant. There was a really good one which kind of emphasised the ideas of coming from Berlin to experience the sort of northern UK life, and had a rather cunning reference in there to Frozen by using the phrase "the cold never bothered me anyway," sort of often remarking upon how sort of people in the area seem to perhaps not feel cold and go out in all weathers dressed in next to nothing. Not that I'd do such a thing, but they are, as they describe themselves, parlour punk, which is it's a unique, fantastic, emotive sort of stuff that really gets to you, I feel, and the lack of actual drums is something really unusual, but it doesn't detract from the music not having drums. It's still just as powerful, and Sister Jane's delivery at times, certainly when you get late in the set, she really sort of can go a little bit wild and start bothering the audience, which is always very, very, very good fun. And the set will tend to ramp up and often feature an actual punk song cover, which you wouldn't necessarily expect from some people looking like them. I as soon as I first encountered them, seeing them playing Goths on a field, I just fell in love with what they had to offer and just had to have them for some gigs. And we did a gig in Leeds together a while back, and they're just utterly, utterly wonderful. You can see the full gig on YouTube, actually. It was released for Goth City. They're working on an album, hopefully get it released soon, but probably not in time for the festival. But yes, this is a really, really wonderful and remarkable act, I feel.
tried to bite yourself, and Daddy said nothing. And Jesus said, love yourself, for I am within you. But I bit, bite, bit after bit. Yeah, I bit, bite, bit after bit. Glory early up my stairs, clicked her heels by my bed, walk me up. Look to the garden, no, no. Love dusked at my window, seen waves outside, chased them with me. But the sea was murky and the moon was thin. And second said to bite yourself, and Daddy said nothing. And Jesus said love yourself, for I am within you. So I bit, bite, bit after bit. Yeah, I bit, bite, bit after bit. Yeah, I bit, bite, bit after 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 bit.
Jane Brother John. Love what they have to offer, and we also love our dear friends, the Glass House Museum, which, if you're at all connected with the goth scene, you should probably have encountered a Glass House Museum. We also have Lee Meadows in the band, as well as Joe Cummings, Dominic Cummings as well. But Lee Meadows is the inventor of World Goth Day, you know. Yes, and he does some rather fantastic fade-out sessions where he often plays a lot of... I didn't really know what they were, but apparently he plays like a lot of underground music and that sort of thing in it, so plenty of stuff from the scene. So yeah, we've got them coming on. They've got a significant history. I mean, headlined Goth City last year, and so wonderful, and they're such good friends, and I love them so much. Yeah, the Glass House Museum coming along to play Doncaster for the first time.
This is called The Committee. Tread careful, stranger. Only know from what you run. These drifting sands won't hold you. They're not the ones to guide you on. Take your pain, my friend, and make it deep. Where the vultures sleep, where the vultures sleep. Take your grave, my friend, and make it deep. Where the vultures sleep, where the vultures sleep. Turns cast long shadows. Your kiss will swallow you whole. Oh, turns cast long shadows. These shifting sands will swallow you. cracks begin to show. Left hand drive, but hand no, so hand no. Take your grave, my friend, and make it deep. Where the vultures feed, where the vultures feed. Take your grave, my friend, and make it deep. Where the vultures feed, where the vultures feed. Take your grave, my friend, and make it deep. Where the vultures feed, where the vultures feed.
Right, so we've had glass house museums, and what can we have to possibly top that? Well, we can have Byronic Sex Exile. I have mentioned it on previous shows, but it's worth mentioning again just what an icon really Joel is of the goth scene. I mean, he is, of course, behind Goth City promotions and the Goth City Festival and Black Pilgrimage. Apparently he's got something even more special lined up for next year, taking place at a really, really fabulous place in Leeds, so look out for that. But his dedication to goth scene and everything that it entails is something quite legendary. And you know, it's interesting, I've had in the past some issues with people refusing to play because they don't want to be associated with goth. You know, I've thought of reworking Robots in Disguise GIRL Girl to GOTH Goth, because it's a GIRL Girl, it's not a dirty word, you know. And I think also maybe with this event we can help, you know, much as Joel does with Goth City, he uses goth to help. You know, it's for charity, the, you know, Pathras, positive action for refugees and asylum seekers. Yeah, so it's really worthwhile what he does. So always appreciate his artistry. His latest work really is something truly special, I think. He's really opening up the palette a lot, which I like very much. Yeah, so he's always quite an experience. Like, he has played Doncaster before, but something like 15 years ago. So an overdue return, I think. But we are very honoured to have Byronic Sex Exile. And of course we finish both nights with me, but we've already played me, so we don't need more of me here. So yeah, I will say briefly, though this is not a specific trans focused event, I am indeed donating any profits, well, I mean at least 50% of everything donated until we're covered costs, and then everything after that goes to charity. So no matter what the costs, the charity will get 50% of donations, and after costs are covered, 100% of donations. So there's hopefully we'll get costs covered nicely and make plenty of money for the charity, which is, as I say, a trans focused charity. It's the Mermaids charity, helping to promote transgender issues and to help transgender people, because I've said it a million times on stage now, and I've said it on this show, I'm just fed up of the absolute horrible hate that trans people seem to be getting these days. It's like they are public enemy number one lately. There's this absolute terrified fear of trans people for no good reason. They're just people trying to live their lives, for God's sake. So please, if you're watching, please donate. Well, you would be watching if you're hearing this, but please donate to the fundraiser for the festival. Anything that isn't covered by the fundraiser I will pay for myself, but we should hopefully get there. We're doing quite well on it now, but we desperately need more donations. So tinyurl.com/nsdonk26, or go to jointhenightshift.uk and you'll see how to do it there. There's no minimum donation required, and anyone can come into the event anyway, but please, I'm asking for your help with costs of running it and to hopefully raise some money for charity. We will be featuring artists that are trans as well, but I don't see any reason to sort of particularly single them out. They're just people who are playing the show because they are really good artists, and that's the main thing. But I want to use the show to help with a cause that I think is worthwhile. So anyway, so we've had Byronic Sex Exile, and that's basically it for the lineup on the Saturday of the show. As I say, me has headlined both nights. But anyway, I want to tell you also about a little bit of stuff happening in the near future. As I'm doing this, and hopefully I'll get this out in time, this Saturday, the 18th of April 2026, there is a new goth night in Doncaster, so I'll play the sort of teaser video for that. So yeah, we've got Doom Loop coming up here in Doncaster. It's at the Vintage Rock Bar, which is where Night Shift started. You know, it's almost like they're throwing a party to celebrate the first Night Shift, which is rather nice of them, I think. So yeah, it's got a mix of sort of synthwave and goth classics, they say, so I'm looking forward to that. Free entry as well, so I can't imagine how they're managing that. Just really, really lovely of them to do that, though. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe we can make Doncaster goth again. And following that, Saturday I'm going out to see Palindrones in Leeds, supporting Tokyo Taboo and some other stuff. So anyway, yeah, I'll leave you there, and I'll see you next time.